Well, I guess all in all, that could have gone better.
You are Locked On Bama, your daily podcast on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back into Locked On Bama. Luke Robinson with the HSA Radio Network. Jimmy Stein is, I don't know where he is tonight. He's doing something. But he probably was watching Alabama Purdue. And this, by the way, this podcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Also want to thank Omaha Steaks for being sponsor of this particular episode. Since we haven't talked about them today, I'll tell you about both those later on. I'll also tell you about Academy. So Bama goes to Purdue, and they don't do so well. I mean, they get a 7-point lead. Oh, excuse me, I think it was a 6-point lead. A 6-point lead, and then Purdue goes on like a 13 or 15 nothing run. Bad news is we lost. The good news is I don't have to watch Peacock anymore. But I think it was overall not the best effort of this team. I'm a little shocked that they didn't play better. I was really impressed how they took the lead. You could tell they weren't playing well. Let me tell you, he was playing well. LeBaron Philon. That kid is a dog. Love me some LeBaron Philon. Mark Sears, I think he had 13 or at the half maybe, or somewhere in there, and then didn't really score much after that. Grant Nelson, I thought, played well, shook off some early season rust. Jaron Stevenson is on a milk carton right now. I don't know what's going on with him. He can't buy a bucket. It feels like Amori, I thought he did what he's going to be doing every game. The one thing that I was a little shocked by, we couldn't stop that number 4. We couldn't stop number 4 for Purdue for nothing. And we never tried to do anything to stop him, anything differently than what it felt like we were just going to do, is just go out there and play man up on him and see how that turns out. It didn't turn out very well. I mean, we made him look like an All-American. Here's the thing. I think everybody needs to calm down, though. Like, this isn't that bad of a loss at all. A lot of teams would go to Purdue and lose. And I would wager to say most teams, like most teams would go to Purdue and lose. Okay? It's basketball. It's not football. I know we're in football mode and we're a football school, so it's hard to get that out of our system. I certainly wish that we had that we had won. It certainly would be better to have won, but we didn't. And we got a bunch of games coming up. We got Illinois in Birmingham on Wednesday. Hope we have a good crowd for that. Get some Big Ten revenge. Then you've got, Houston and Rutgers, and Notre Dame probably, and North Kakalaki. So we got a bunch of games coming up, and none of them are cupcakes. The 3 games we've already played or 4 games aren't cupcakes. So we're going to be battle tested. I guess the one thing that if I were arguing against me, all right, what I'm saying, let me say what my argument is so I can be clear. I'm saying chill out. Don't worry too much about this loss. Yes, it sucks we lost, but don't have the hyperventilating, don't have the anxiety, don't have all that about this season just yet. Chill out. It's going to be all right. But if I were to take the other side, like some people are doing on message boards right now, then I would say, hey, exactly. When is somebody going to step up? Because, I mean, we sort of, played with our food when it comes to McNeese and Arkansas State. We just sort of screwed around and let them hang in. And eventually they either caught up or got the lead or whatever. And then we took over and we ended up winning, but it wasn't pretty. When we've watched other people have watched basketball, you've seen Auburn play this year. You've seen Kentucky beat Duke this year. You've seen things like that. And you've been excited. Like, okay, those teams look like they got it together. It is mid-November. Our team's going to get better. Some teams are going to actually get worse, but our team is definitely going to get better. I am shocked that the best newcomer we have is LeBaron Philon. I shouldn't be shocked. This is a kid that averaged 30-something a game his junior year in Alabama, then goes to Link Academy, and he was really good there. Shouldn't be too shocked. But, when you get Aiden Sherrill and you get Darian Reed and Aiden Holloway comes over, you get things like that, and you're like, okay. I mean, that Amori comes in. You're like, yeah, LeBaron Philon can come in and be a piece of this. No, LeBaron Philon, they didn't start him tonight, which I understand because he's a freshman, right? And you're wondering, okay, how's he going to react to this atmosphere? Let's say Mackey Arena is essentially the size of Coleman Coliseum, and it's pretty jacked. I mean, their crowd is kind of like Neville Arena, but with 6,000 more people in it. So, yeah, it was a deal. It was tough to deal with that. I get not starting the freshman, but I think now that you've seen LeBaron Philon can handle that, not only handle it, heck, he flourished. He was awesome. He was the best player on the court for Alabama tonight. And I don't think that'll be the case every night. But I'm looking at some of the stats here. Jaren Stevenson, 0 of 4, and every one of his shots was from beyond the arc. He had 1 rebound, no blocks, no assists, no steals, no points, 1 foul. So I don't know what exactly this does to the lineup. I know they don't play the same position. I'd probably move some things around, get Jaren Stevenson out of the starting lineup, put LeBaron Philon in. Philon is a dude. He wants the ball. He wants to be there. He wants to play D. And somebody will say, well, Luke, you fouled out. Yeah, he fouled out. He didn't foul out because he was tripping all over his feet. He had an effort foul out. I mean, I can live with somebody fouling out if it's all effort. And LeBaron Philon is just a big pile of effort. And that needs to count for something. And we're going to have somebody else alongside him step up. Mark Sears, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc tonight. That's got to change. He had good looks too. These weren't really contested shots. He had really good looks. Reitzel was 3 of 6. I mean, he sort of did his thing, 11 points. I think that's about where Reitzel is. Occasionally he'll have a 20-something, but mostly that's where he is. I'm looking at Philon's stat line. If you want to feel good about something tonight, Philon was 7 of 10 from the field, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, 1 of 1 from the stripe. Yeah, 1 of 1 from the stripe. He had 5 total rebounds. He had 4 assists. He had 1 measly, peddly turnover, 18 points. And yes, he did foul out along with Grant Nelson, who I thought played pretty well tonight too. 5 of 7, 11 boards, an assist, a block, a steal, and the turnover. I thought those two played very, very well. We're going to have to start getting some more out of Aiden Holloway. He's 1 of 4 from beyond the arc again. He's just going to start living up to that shooter's reputation that he never could really live up to at Auburn, and we expected him to here. But and there is a lot to critique. There's certainly a lot to critique. The Boilermakers are a good team. I'm not really worried about this loss at all. I'll worry about it later if this becomes a trend. But right now, I just think, hey, Purdue wanted it more than us, and they played better than us. And frankly, I thought they coached better than us. I thought that, I saw a lot of people complaining about the officiating. Yeah, the one call that was really bad was the one where they said it was a double foul on Jaren Stevenson when he was in a headlock. Like his head got in the way of that kid's elbow. I mean, come on, and to see it on replay and then you do nothing. Even Hummel, who played at Purdue and is a Purdue legend, was like, that doesn't make any sense. And it didn't, and that was a big moment. But in the end, that's not what cost Alabama the game. The officials are just as bad as they're always going to be. You might as well go ahead and get used to that. They're going to be bad forever. They're going to be bad tomorrow against Mercer. So we might as well just learn to deal with that. Not a fan of it, but we got to deal with it. That being said, I want to tell everybody about FanDuel, because FanDuel's the best. FanDuel's the best. I hope you're still watching and listening. And if you are, then you know that I love FanDuel, because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with 150 smacks and bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's only at FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and go to FanDuel.com and you'll love it. Also want to tell you about Omaha Steaks. Let me tell y'all, this is truth. I hope that I have an overlay here, and I do, for Omaha Steaks. Look, you get 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $30 off with promo code COLLEGE. Go to Omaha Steaks. Let me tell you, this is the truth. Most of y'all know that I have 3 children that live in Ohio. One of them's actually at Arizona State now. And 2 of them, though, one of my daughters in high school, and she'll be going to Alabama next year. And then I got a son that's 14. And my father loves to send them and their mom Omaha Steaks all the time. I'm going to say we do it 6 or 7 times a year. Because, I mean, kids eat you out of house and home, and Omaha Steaks gives you such a great deal. And my dad's like, I love to cook steaks for them, and they're not here as much, so I want to send them steaks so they can cook them. And they just love Omaha Steaks. I love Omaha Steaks. Nothing delivers comfort and joy quite like the unrivaled quality and taste of Omaha Steaks. This year, skip the holiday hustle and bustle. Save 50% off gourmet gifts site-wide at omahasteaks.com, and also get an extra $30 off and use promo code COLLEGE. That's at omahasteaks.com. I'm telling you, I love our advertisers because I actually use them. Omaha Steaks. Yeah, I'm telling you, you'll want to use that. Okay, so let's get back to this for a minute on the basketball side. I know some people are upset. I understand when you lose, you're not going to have anybody go, well, that's okay. Austin Seymour says, I wish I had this job. Well, this isn't my main job. This is something I just do, Austin Seymour. And you can get you a podcast. It's really easy. Jimmy and I were doing it back when nobody was listening. Somebody said, I'm glad Cliff Amore is good. Okay. Yeah, he's okay. Look, here's the biggest issue to me with this basketball team right now. We got to start shooting and making them. I mean, we are shooting. We aren't making them. That's the biggest problem. We are a team right now that, boy, you just about want to leave them open. Darian Reed, I got to look it up really quickly, took some more threes. Or, excuse me, it was Aiden Sherrill, I believe. No, it must have been Darian Reed. He took another three-pointer. They must not have counted one for Reed as a three-pointer when it was, because it looked like he squared up and shot 2 3-pointers at least. And I didn't feel like they were all too terribly close. They just didn't look like confident shots. I'm not saying he can't make them, but, man, we leave it to the other shooters right now. Yeah, eventually I want that to be part of his repertoire. But for now, I think we need him doing some other things. I'm totally again, LeBaron Philon has earned the green light to do just about whatever he wants. Philon is just a dude. Here's the other thing that you'll love about him. He loves the game of basketball. And man, you respect that so much. I'll tell you something else. I appreciated Robbie Hummel putting this out there, pointing this out, I should say, that, hey, hats off to Matt Painter and to Nate Oates for scheduling this game in a home and home, not, neutral site thing, something that everybody can get by. Because see, next year they'll come to Tuscaloosa. It won't exactly be the same. There'll be a bunch of people missing off this Purdue team. Alabama will have a whole new squad too, and we'll talk about some of the guys that may be on that team for Alabama. But I love it for the university. I want to get more games like this on campus for Alabama. I'm cool with a game in Huntsville once a year against another Alabama team. Maybe I'm cool with a game in Birmingham against an Illinois or a Texas or a Gonzaga or whatever, all those games that we've done before. Those are great. It's good to bring a game to Birmingham because the Alabama fans in Birmingham deserve to have a game here where you can fit a lot of people into a great arena and they don't have to drive to Tuscaloosa and then drive back drunk. Just kidding. They mostly have drivers. But I'm glad we have those. But I want to have some of these games in Tuscaloosa. Remember that Houston game in Tuscaloosa a few years ago? How awesome was that? And it ended very in a climactic fashion. It was fantastic. Sherrod Moore says Sears is terrible on the ball defense. I don't know. I thought his defense has been good this year. That's why he came back to expand on his defensive game. And I think it's been okay. He didn't play super well tonight. Okay. I'm not here to tell you that this is okay, but I am kind of telling you it's okay. By accepting this loss, I'm not saying I'm accepting a lot more losses like it. I'm hoping they use this loss to get better, and I believe that they will. This coaching staff's got their act together, y'all. I mean, I see Jeff Horn says very disappointed in the team and Nate Oates. I think if you're not disappointed, you're not really a fan. But I do think, and again, I'm not picking on you. I guess I am. It's going to feel that way because, again, when I'm doing the show by myself, I got to sort of read the comments by myself too, and I don't have Jimmy to bounce some things off of. But Jeff Horn says, very disappointed in this team and Nate Oates. Luke, exclamation point. Expected much better than this, exclamation point. I don't mean to get all Seinfeldian on you, but it's sort of like when Elaine's boyfriend left the message about Elaine's friend that had the baby. I think she said like Kathy had the baby or something like that. And he just put a period or didn't put any punctuation. And Elaine was like, well, I would think that would warrant an exclamation point. And my point is this. What you're saying is true. Very disappointing in this team and Nate Oates, Luke. I would leave where I guess I disagree is the exclamation point. That makes it seem like it's a panicky situation. I don't think it is. I think we're going to be okay. We still got young blood out there who hadn't even started to play yet. So and yeah, Sherrod Moore says this loss means something. It does mean something. It means we're not as good as we thought right now. But it's mid-November. We got half of this month, and you got December and January and February, and then you get to March. We got a long time before I want us to start playing our best. Certainly, I think we're going to play better than this, and I think this is a learning tool for us. I think this is something we can all grow from. We're going to be in the Dean Dome here in December. We're going to play Creighton with that Kalkbrenner guy. He only put up 49 in the first game. There have only been like 4 other dudes in college basketball history that had an opening night with that many points. I mean, yeah, we're going to face Houston, a team that we know is good. I know Auburn beat them, but they are still really good because you know what? We play Auburn twice. They're really good. I mean, we're going to play a lot of good teams, and you're not going to win them all when you do that. Duke just lost to Kentucky. So all I'm saying is it's okay to be upset. I think that to think the season is lost, and that's the vibe I'm getting from some folks, maybe not you guys in the comments, but the vibe I'm getting from some on various message boards, and I'm thinking like, hey, let's tone it down just a hair, y'all. It's going to be okay. I think this is still a very good team. So let's just give them a little bit of time. Academy. Yep, love Academy. I really do hope that a lot of y'all were able to come and see Jimmy and me at Academy when we were there a few weeks ago, because that place is awesome. The new Academy Sports Now store that's now open. It's in Birmingham. It's on 280. It's at the Target Shopping Centers where the old Best Buy was. You can't miss it. What a great location. That's a great little shopping center right off 280 behind the Chick-fil-A. Y'all know where that Chick-fil-A is. Don't play with me. I know exactly y'all know where it is. So you can get all the outdoor gear and apparel and sports equipment and footwear, whatever you want. And they carry a wide selection of trusted brands like Nike, Brooks, Carhartt, Blackstone, Yeti, Titleist, Shimano, and more. Got to work on my cardio. Might have to go to Academy and get me a treadmill. Academy has everything you need to gear up for fun, camping, hunting, fishing, tailgating, and running, exercising, and more. Plus, you can shop online or on our app with free in-store pickup. You need it fast? They got 1 hour curbside pickup, baby. So you can load up and load out with these or enjoy free shipping to your home and purchase more than $25. Your new Academy Sports and Outdoors store is located at 4610 US Highway 280 in the Salty Ham. Go check it out. I don't know if anybody else calls Birmingham the Salty Ham, but occasionally I do. I think it throws people off. All right, so let's talk a little recruiting just for a second. Alabama lost Dawson Merritt to Nebraska. This was not unexpected. By the way, I want to throw this out. Sherrod Moore says, I'm ready to see what the transfer from Pepperdine brings to the table. Well, you won't see it till next year because he's already announced he will be redshirting this year. So he's going to redshirt this year. So just, that's just going to be something we'll see next year. And take that out of your thinking. He's just not going to be playing this year. But Dawson Merritt did flip from Alabama to Nebraska. Okay. I would love to. This is much less hurtful than Caleb Cunningham, and Caleb Cunningham was much less hurtful than people portray it. I think that Dawson Merritt was expendable. I would love to have him in this class. I don't want to insult him. I don't want to say I'm not trying to be a sore loser that we lost out on him. I'm okay if he goes Nebraska. This is not something that worries me too terribly much. This is the football recruiting equivalent of losing to Purdue on the road. I'm okay with it. I hate it. I wish it wouldn't be that way, but it is, and so I'll deal. This isn't Keelan Russell flipping to Oregon. That would be something where I would have a podcast for about 3.5 hours only for the therapy that you guys would have to provide me. Dawson Merritt flipping to Nebraska, it tells me a couple things. Look, Caleb Cunningham flipping to Mississippi is like, it's a Mississippi dude. He always kind of wanted to go to Mississippi, you could tell. And he's going to play for a coach who is known for throwing the ball all over the field, and a coach who also is known for being a little, limelighty. He likes the spotlight, right? So Dawson Merritt, he's flipping from Alabama to Nebraska. He's from Kansas. Okay. So Nebraska, I guess, is a little closer. And again, no offense to Nebraska. They're not in Alabama's area code when it comes to being a program, not in the last 20 years, especially. But if he wants to go there and be the man, all I can do is say, good luck. I wish you the best. I certainly think Alabama's the better place, but I also think Alabama's got some dudes, like Justin Hill, who are committed, who are just as good and better, actually. And the JUCO guy that we've got coming in, also better. So it doesn't really hurt my feelings too terribly much. Again, I would love to have him. This isn't a class breaker, so nobody should feel that way. Now, I also want to throw in that Alabama got a commitment today. I know while some of y'all are killing the basketball team, Nate Oates and company did get a commitment from Davion Hannah. Also playing at Link Academy this year. He is, way up there in terms of, all over the board in terms of where he is ranked. I mean, low is 62 and the high is 22. On 3 has him as number 62. ESPN has him number 22. So obviously a dude to go along with Alabama's 2 other commitments. This takes Alabama's class into the top 10 again. So look, while you're bashing the team for losing tonight, and they didn't look good, I'm not here to make excuses for them. Keep in mind that this coaching staff is doing one whale of a job. I mean, an incredible job. They've taken Alabama to places we didn't think they could be. I mean, let's be honest with it. Or top 5. I said top 10. I think Alabama is in the top 5 right now. I thank you, default name. Did you type that, or did Yahoo, or what am I on YouTube? Did YouTube give you that? The default name? What a great username. I ought to do that from now on. Anywho, Davion Hannah, really, really good player and really good pickup that takes this class into the top 5. We're not going, as long as Nate Oates is at this school, we're going to be a factor. Okay. So everybody be happy about that. Just a couple other football things. I don't know how many else. So please go check out my Twitter feed at LSRobinson21. One of my favorite things to do sometimes is to read Philip Marshall's articles, because he seems to, I don't even know what to say. It's just, you got to read them to understand what I'm talking about. But so I was looking at Auburn Message Board the other day, and Lane Kiffin tweeted out a picture of Deuce Knight, who's currently committed to Auburn from Mississippi, a quarterback, 4-star, 5-star type. And Lane Kiffin tweeted out a picture while he was at Deuce Knight's high school, but of a picture of a mannequin wearing whatever his high school uniform is, right? And he just tweeted that picture out with no caption. I don't even think he had 8 words. And Philip Marshall said, unless the rules have changed, you can't take a picture of a recruit and then tweet it out during this period or whatever. And somebody else on the Auburn board said, that is a mannequin. There's nothing wrong with that. It's funnier if you see it on the tweet. And message board geniuses even picked it up. It's really kind of funny because I don't know why on earth he thought that was a picture of Deuce Knight when it is clearly a mannequin. The only person the mannequin looked like was the Silver Surfer from Marvel Comics. So unless Auburn is recruiting a series of Stan Lee-made fictional characters, I think it was legal. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. So look, tomorrow Alabama plays Mercer at 1:00. I'm telling y'all, be prepared for Alabama not to play well. Be prepared. That's happening. I'm resigned to it because they put a lot of effort in this LSU thing. They've gotten a lot of love after this LSU thing. This Mercer team is 9-1. They aren't god awful. They're not anywhere. They're not in Alabama's galaxy, but they are not as bad as you would think a Mercer team would be. And I'm telling you, they're going to put up a bit of a fight. And I can see this game being something like 49-14. And it's not a pretty 49-14 or 42-14, something like that. So if you're looking for tomorrow to be some kind of balm for what to get over tonight, I don't think it's going to help you much. You're going to need to wait for the next week against Oklahoma and the week after that in the Iron Bowl, I believe. I think Alabama will play better against those two teams. But, of course, we got a long way to go. Hey, listen, I appreciate all you guys joining me tonight on a Friday night. Y'all are a lot like most of y'all are probably like me and got anything else to do. So certainly do appreciate it. Definitely want you guys to go check out Academy, go to Omaha Steaks and FanDuel, do all that stuff. And until tomorrow after the game, roll tide, everybody.